Clarita's Hometown Station AM-1220 KHTS. Jason Endicott with you on this Monday, December 17th. Thank you for joining us. You may have heard a little bit earlier today. The person I have in studio with me right now, she was on just a couple hours ago, I think. And her name is Alyssa Janney, and she is with REMO. And she is the Health Rhythms Manager for REMO. And as I was kind of reading on the REMO website about her and about what this program is, first question I had was, what is a Health Rhythms Manager? What is that? And Alyssa's here to tell us all about this and Heart and Health Rhythms, which is a cool program that REMO does. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. I see your title as Health Rhythms Manager, and so that leads me to ask you, what do you do as a Health Rhythms Manager? What is Health Rhythms? How is REMO helping to promote, healthiness?
Well, what I do for REMO is development, strategic management, and marketing of international training programs. Our flagship program is called Health Rhythms, and it's an evidence-based program that was developed by a neurologist in Pennsylvania and a master's level social worker and board certified music therapist here in California.
Oh, very cool. And as I'm reading about your background, so you kind of took two different areas of your life and kind of put them together. You were interested in music for a while, and you also have been interested in you got your MBA from the University of Phoenix. So you kind of were able to kind of put these two things together, and that's your career now, which is very cool.
Yeah, my family has been in a caregiving profession because my family started a children's home in Virginia,
right.
And so we cared for disadvantaged youth because my great-grandfather was one of those. And so I kind of came from that background, so I'm really looking for ways that I can use my skills to be able to try to help make the world a better place.
Music is very therapeutic. It's something that there's been a lot of not only just anecdotal evidence about. I as in a very amateur drummer myself know that it's a very therapeutic thing to play. And there's also a lot of scientific evidence for this as well. And so REMO is, we were talking off the air a few minutes ago, since about 2001, you guys have had this Health Rhythms program in place to kind of talk about the therapeutic side of music and of drumming. Talk to me about that.
Well, Health Rhythms was developed in 2000. The first training was offered in 2001, and the training is still offered now. In fact, we're going to be offering it in Valencia, February the 2nd and 3rd. The neurologist who did the research studies that the program was developed from will be teaching it, along with a master's level social worker and board certified music therapist. And what happened was that this neurologist is named Barry Bittman, and he wanted to find out if there was some biological benefit to drumming. And so he set out to do a research project, and what he found is that if you use a specific series of steps to create a stress-free, or a less stressed environment, that then you can actually use the drum as a tool for communication and personal expression, and you can affect some really positive health outcomes. So you can increase natural killer cell activity, you can reduce stress, you can reduce burnout and improve mood states. I
was looking at some of the things that, some of the issues that can be helped with, or that can be helped by having health rhythms and drumming, things like that. We're talking about some things like reducing your healthcare costs. It can help you with your cardiovascular fitness, with obesity, diabetes. And feel free to speak to any of these. I don't know a lot about each of them individually, but depression, chronic pain, premature aging. These are all things that, the idea is that if you're drumming more, you are less prone to have issues with some of these things, right?
Well, the American Medical Association estimated that 60 to 70% of doctor visits were stress-related. And actually, stress is a component of every disease. This is what James Rosenbaum, who is a medical doctor, has said. And that's chronic stress. We all have stress, but we're talking about chronic stress.
Right.
And chronic stress, we don't have time to go through all the studies, but
sure.
There are studies that show that it affects cardiovascular illness, obesity, diabetes, drug abuse, and people related to drug abuse. It says stress leads to an increase in the brain levels of a peptide known as corticotropin releasing factor, or CRF, and the increased CRF levels in turn triggers a cascade of biological responses. That was published in the National Institute on Drug Abuse in 2005. Cognitive impairment, we know that chronic stress can impair memory, and it also can cause cognitive slowing, So it makes it more difficult for children to learn, makes it more difficult for us to remember things as we get older. Chronic pain, we know that stress is a factor in chronic pain, and premature aging. Connections among stress include premature aging and a decreased lifespan. Were recently identified in a University of California, San Francisco review of women aged 20 to 50. There were caregivers who were living with children with a chronic illness, such as autism, compared to women of the same age who were caring for healthy children. The chronic stress levels speeded up the deterioration of vision, hearing, increased aging of the skin, mental decline, and failing organs in the women who were caring for sick children. So you can see how much stress really impacts every area of our lives. So if we can do something to reduce stress, then we really have a chance at improving our overall health and well-being.
Alyssa Janney is in studio with us right now from REMO, talking about health rhythms. There's a training coming up in February 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be here in town at the Hyatt Regency Valencia. What typically takes place during these 2-day training sessions?
Well, the training starts out as an experiential thing. So we want everybody who's learning to facilitate the program to first experience it. So what typically happens is a group of 40 to 100 people gather together, and what we see happen is over the course of 1 hour to an hour and a half of doing these 10 steps that we call the Health Rhythms Protocol, people go from being strangers to really relating and communicating with each other like close friends. So it's really a phenomenal process that takes place. Then after they experience it, then we talk about the research. We talk about, how the research was done, with the foundations for the research that was done, because there are 6 scientific peer-reviewed published research studies that support the program.
Yeah.
So we go through all of that, and then we dissect it and go through each step and teach you how to facilitate each step of the protocol. And then you get experience actually putting it together and practicing.
Well, this training is only offered once a year here in the Santa Clarita area, so check it out. You can find out more, remo.com/health.
Yes.
That will get you to the website. They'll have information about health rhythms, the benefits of it, the research behind it, information about this training, and there's actually a link to register right online for it as well.
Yes, there is.
And so that's coming up in February. You still got some time to sign up. It's going to be here in town, Hyatt Regency Valencia. And, get involved with this because, music we've long recognized as a stress reliever. Banging on drums and hitting drums, I've realized for a long time, is a stress reliever. Did you invent a drum, Alyssa? The REMO drum?
I actually did.
I'm looking at it right now. And, I just thought I'd throw that last one out there. There's a drum that REMO has on its website. It is the first stress management system integrating the life-enhancing benefits of healing music, aromatherapy, and therapeutic drumming. Look at that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Check that out, remo.com/health. It's all there. Find out more about Alyssa, find out more about the program, and wish you the best of luck with it and continued success with it. We see the benefits, and it's good to talk about it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa Janney from REMO. We've got a traffic update coming up here in about 60 seconds. Keep it here.